you. This is good. Okay, guys. Last class, all of you showed that you wanted to learn more about neither versus either, something like this, right?
Right.
Let's see a warm-up with this short video about how to use neither and either. Ready?
Neither, either. English grammar lesson. I am happy. So am I. So am I means I am happy too. I am happy is a positive sentence. What happens when we have a negative sentence? For example, I am not happy. We cannot respond with so am I, because so is only used to agree with positive sentences. For negative sentences, we use neither am I.
Go ahead, Mari. Can you read for us positive sentence?
Positive sentence. I am happy.
Mm-hmm.
I am happy too. So am I.
Okay, guys, you can say, oh, I'm happy today. And then you can say, oh, so am I. So am I. Or I'm happy too. Can use both of those, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So am I. For example, Luis, are you happy today?
Yes, I am happy today.
Ah, so am I. See? All right. This is positive sentence. And for negative sentence, Mari, can you continue?
Mm-hmm. I am not happy. Neither am I.
Neither am I.
Neither am I.
This is for, you cannot say I'm in, well, you can say I'm not happy too, but it's more natural if you say neither am I. It's beautiful. It's very good English. Okay.
I'm back. The alarm of my house has disappeared, so I had to get it.
Okay. All right. Let's go back again. Pay attention because this is a very nice class about those two concepts.
Neither, either. English grammar lesson. I am happy. So am I. So am I means I am happy too. I am happy is a positive sentence. What happens when we have a negative sentence? For example, I am not happy. We cannot respond with so am I, because so is only used to agree with positive sentences.
Okay, you cannot say, I'm not happy today, oh, so am I. No, it's wrong. You say, neither am I. Okay?
For negative sentences, we use neither am I. Now, if the positive response of so am I means I'm happy too, what does neither am I mean? We do not say I'm not happy too. Too is used at the end of positive responses. For negative responses, we use I'm not happy either.
See? Say, I'm not happy today. I'm not happy either. Or neither am I. Então, vocês têm essas duas opções, né? Neither am I, para dizer eu também não. Ou eu também não estou feliz. I'm not happy either. Ok? A gente não usa I'm not happy too.
Neither am I means I am not happy either. Note, there are two ways to pronounce this word. Some people say neither, and other people say neither.
Algumas pessoas falam neither, outros say neither. Alguns falam neither, outros neither. Então, essa pronúncia, às vezes, aí depende do país. Geralmente, os britânicos vão falar neither. Eu não tenho certeza qual dos dois, mas depende. Ok?
Both forms are correct. In American English, you'll hear both forms of pronunciation used. You'll also hear both forms used in British English.
Então, tanto os britânicos quanto os americanos usam as duas pronúncias. Depende da pessoa.
So, you may hear neither am I or neither am I. They're both correct. Notice the word order. Neither plus auxiliary plus subject. The auxiliary verb needs to agree with the verb tense in the original statement or sentence. In the first sentence, I am not happy, the verb is am, which is a form of to be in the present simple tense. If the verb is in the present simple tense in the first sentence, then the response is in the same tense.
Ok, quando a gente usa o neither, primeiro nós temos aqui neither, depois o auxiliar, depois o sujeito. Vocês viram aqui, ó, neither, verbo, sujeito. Neither am I. Neither am I. Então, neither vai vir primeiro. Neither. Coisa linda. Ok, neither. The auxiliary, né? I am, and then, entenderam, né? Sorry, I got distracted.
The present simple tense, which becomes neither am I. Remember, neither am I means I am not happy either.
You can say neither am I, I'm not happy either. Both things, okay?
So the complete interaction is I am not happy. Neither am I. Let's look at a similar example. I wasn't happy. What tense is used here? The past simple tense. Since we need to have the same tense, what would the man's response be to agree with the woman's statement?
Como que eu responderia para isso que ela falou? I wasn't happy. Eu não estava feliz. I wasn't happy. Como que ele vai falar? Eu também não estava.
Neither. I wasn't happy. Neither wasn't I.
Let's see. What, Luis?
Bro, what is these letters all confused on the screen? Can't see anything.
What is that? I'm sorry.
I wasn't happy.
Let's see.
Neither was I.
Remember, we are using simple past, verb to be. I wasn't happy, neither was I. Lembra? Primeiro vai vir o neither, depois o verbo ou o auxiliar e depois o sujeito. Okay.
Both sentences are in the past simple tense. Neither was I means I wasn't happy either.
Vocês têm duas formas de falar, eu também não estava feliz, né? Negando. I wasn't happy either. Ou neither was I. Um dos dois. Okay? Okay, Luis, following?
So the complete interaction is, I wasn't happy, neither was I. Now, these sentences have used to be in the present simple and
Aqui ele falou auxiliary, mas aqui no caso a gente usa o verbo to be, né? I am, you are, he is, she is, I was, she was, it was. Mas a gente também tem os auxiliares, can, do, may, might, né? Então sempre vai ser neither, verbo ou auxiliar e depois o sujeito. No caso aqui a gente usou o verbo to be, né? Neither was I. I wasn't happy either.
and past simple tenses. What happens with other tenses? Look at this sentence. I don't want any more. This sentence is in the present simple tense, which means the response also needs to be in the present simple tense. However, it is not to be. It has the verb want. Do we respond with neither want I? No, we don't. We do not respond with the same verb. We need to use an auxiliary verb. We say, neither do I.
Então perceba que aqui quando eu vou negar, ó, eu não quero mais, né? Eu não quero mais. I don't want anymore. Aqui, quando a gente fala eu também não quero, eu não vou usar o verbo, eu vou usar o auxiliar. Então, eu vou usar neither, auxiliar do, porque a gente viu que tem do aqui, né, na sentença, e depois o sujeito. Então, neither do I. Né? Tem gente que vai colocar direto o verbo, né? Neither want I. Tá errado. A gente tem que colocar o auxiliar. Neither do I. Ok? Capite?
Capite. It's a bit weird for me. I need more practice.
Vamos praticar mais. Let's continue. You're gonna see more examples. Por isso que eu falei, é complicadinho para explicar assim um segundo. É bom ver várias coisinhas. Right? Let's go.
The auxiliary verb for the present simple tense is do or does. In this case, we use do because the subject is I. Neither do I.
Né? Se fosse ela também não, se fosse ela também não quer, neither does she, né? Porque aí vai mudar o does. Mas vamos ver mais exemplos.
Neither do I means I don't want any more either.
Você tem duas opções de falar eu também não quero mais, né? Alguém falou para você, não quero isso mais. I don't want anymore. Aí você fala neither do I, simples, pequeno e curto, ou você pode falar I don't want anymore either. I don't want anymore either. Ok? Então, essas duas opções aqui, neither do I don't want anymore either. Ok?
Okay.
So the complete interaction is I don't want any more. Neither do I. We use an auxiliary for all verbs except for to be and modal verbs. Let's look at the same sentence in the past tense. I didn't want any more. The statement is in the past simple tense. This means for the response, we need a past simple tense auxiliary verb. How can we respond? Neither did I. Did is the past simple tense auxiliary verb. Neither did I means I didn't want any more either.
Would you like to repeat, Luis, here?
It's just me, or the neither always come first?
That's what I was saying here. Look, neither, auxiliary, and then the subject. Neither comes first. Yes.
So it's for me to read. Neither plus auxiliary plus subject. The auxiliary verb needs to agree with the verb tense in the original statement. Pronunciation. I can't. Parece essa coisa de chinês. Eu não
It's
consigo.
okay. Just go back here to past simple tense.
Past simple tense. I didn't want anymore. Neither did I. I didn't want anymore either.
Either.
Mano, o que eles estão comendo?
So the complete interaction is, I didn't want any more. Neither did I. Let's look at more ways of responding. Neither and either are used to agree with negative statements said by person A. Person B uses the word order neither plus auxiliary plus subject. The auxiliary verb used by person B needs to agree with the verb tense in the original statement by person A. Look at these examples. Person A says, I am not hungry. Person B needs to use the same tense, so would respond with, neither am I. Neither am I means, I'm not hungry either. You aren't trying. The response could be, neither are you, which means you are not trying either. I don't need help. Neither do I, which means I don't need help either. Steve doesn't like fish. You could say, neither do I, but let's talk about another person. Let's use the name Sam. The response would be, neither does Sam. Does, because the auxiliary does is used for he, she, it. When I say, neither does Sam, it means Sam doesn't like fish either. I wasn't bored. This is the past simple tense of to be in negative form, so we need to respond with the same tense. Neither was I, which means I wasn't bored either. With the other form of to be in the past simple tense, they weren't invited. Again, we need to use the same past tense in the response. It becomes, neither were we, which means we weren't invited either. I didn't like the book. This is in the past simple tense and it is not to be. The negative auxiliary didn't tells us the sentence is in the past tense, so we also need to use the past tense auxiliary did in the response. So the response could be, neither did I. This means I didn't like the book either.
Okay, so you're gonna do a reading with translation. Line 1 is gonna be for Luis, line 2 for Mari, English and Portuguese, okay?
Mhm.
Okay. So one part me, like person, okay.
You're gonna be the whole line, like, yeah, everything, and then Mari next.
Okay. I am not hungry. Neither am I.
Neither.
Neither am I. You aren't trying.
No, Luis, it's here. This line here for you, next one is for Mari. Line, a linha, né? A linha inteira para você, a próxima é para
Ok.
Mari.
Agora entendi.
Uhum.
I'm not hungry. Either.
Either.
You aren't trying. Neither are you. You aren't trying either.
Uhum.
Você não está tentando. Você também não está
Você
tentando?
também não.
Você também não. Você não está tentando também.
Aham, muito bom.
I don't need help. Neither do I. I don't need help either.
Português.
Eu não preciso de ajuda também. Nem eu preciso de ajuda. Which one needs to traduce?
Eu não preciso de ajuda. Eu também não. Eu também não preciso de ajuda. Mari.
Steve doesn't like fish. Neither does Sam. Sam doesn't like fish either. Steve não gosta de fish. Sam também não. Sam não gosta de de peixe também. De peixe. De
It's
peixe
good.
também.
It's okay. Next.
I don't like fish, but okay.
What? You guys are crazy.
Why? I love fish.
Me too. Me too.
Bro, why when I say that everyone looks like I am a crazy guy and I live like e que eu vivo no hospício?
It's okay. It's okay. You mean some people doesn't like it. It's okay.
Like my mom say that it's healthy, you have to eat that, blah, 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 blah. But I don't like the taste.
It's
don't
fine
like.
because you're a kid. Usually kids doesn't like so many things, but when you grow up, the taste changes most of the time.
Yes.
Maybe yes, maybe not, because in the past I don't like salada. Eu não gostava de salada.
I
Hoje em dia eu
didn't
como.
like, past tense. I didn't like salad.
Salad.
Okay.
Salad, yeah. I didn't like salad, and today I eat. In the past I didn't like fish, and today I'm not eating yet. Again.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Let's continue. I wasn't bored.
I wasn't bored. Neither was I. I wasn't bored either. Eu não estava entediado. Nem eu estava. Eu não estava entediado também.
They weren't invited. Neither were we. We weren't invited either. Eles não estavam convidados. Eles também não. Eles também não estavam convidados.
Nós também não, né?
Nós também.
Neither were we. Okay, next, Luis. I didn't.
Eu vivo falando neither porque eu sempre tá na ponta da língua para falar neither, só que aí eu descubro que não pode falar neither, que não é a pronúncia certa.
Well, tem duas pronúncias, né? Either ou neither. Either ou either, né? Either ou either. Ok, para either. Either ou either. Para esse aqui, tá? Ó, look. Either ou either. Você pode falar um dos dois. Either ou either. Os americanos e os britânicos às vezes falam um, às vezes falam outro. Depende da conversa.
Ok. I didn't like the book. Neither did I. I didn't like the book either. Eu não gostei do livro. Nem eu. Eu não gostei do livro também.
Let's quickly go through each of these again. I am not hungry. Neither am I. You aren't trying. Neither are you. I don't need help. Neither do I. Steve doesn't like fish. Neither does Sam. I wasn't bored. Neither was I. They weren't invited. Neither were we. I didn't like the book. Neither did I. Let's see some more examples with modal verbs and perfect tenses. I can't swim. This has the modal verb can in its negative form, so we also use the modal verb can in the response. We say, neither can I, which means I can't swim either. I couldn't see him. If the first part has the modal verb could, then the response needs the modal verb could too.
Então, vocês estão percebendo. Então, primeiro vem o neither, depois o auxiliar e depois o sujeito.
Say, neither could I, which means I couldn't see him either. She won't be there. Here, it uses the negative form of will, which is won't. These are used to talk about the future, so our response needs to use will too. We say, neither will I, which means I won't be there either. I wouldn't eat that. If the first statement has wouldn't, our response needs would. We say, neither would I, which means I wouldn't eat that either. I shouldn't worry. The negative form of the modal verb should is used. This means we also need to use should in the response. We say, neither should I, which means I shouldn't worry either. They haven't studied. Here we have the present perfect tense with a negative form of have before the past participle. For our response, we need to use the auxiliary verb have. We say, neither have I, which means I haven't studied either. He hadn't finished. This is another perfect tense, this time the past perfect tense. So we need to use the same auxiliary, had, in our response. We say, neither had I, which means I hadn't finished either.
Let's do it again, Luis. One line and then Mari the next.
I can't swim. Neither can I. I can't swim either. Eu não consigo nadar. Nem eu. Eu não consigo nadar também.
I couldn't see him. Neither could I. I couldn't see him either. Eu não pude vê-lo. Eu também não. Eu também não pude vê-lo. Eu não pude vê-lo também.
She won't be there. Neither will I. I won't be there either. Ela não vai estar lá. Nem eu. Eu não vou estar lá também.
I wouldn't eat that. Neither would I. I wouldn't eat that either. Eu não comeria aquilo. Eu também não. Eu não comeria aquilo também.
I shouldn't worry. Neither should I. I shouldn't worry either. Eu não deveria me preocupar. Nem eu deveria. Eu não deveria me preocupar também.
They haven't studied. Neither have I. I haven't studied either. Eu não tenho estudado? Prof?
Yes, correct.
They haven't studied. Eu não tenho estudado?
Yes, it is correct.
Eles não têm estudado. Eu também não. Eu também não tenho estudado.
Yes, that's correct.
He hadn't finished. Neither had I. I hadn't finished either. Either. Ele não terminou. Nem eu. Eu não terminei também, mas aquele had no meio do neither had I ficou estranho de traduzir só como nem eu.
Nem eu tenho. Ok, I hadn't finished. Nem eu tenho terminado, né? Nem eu tenho terminado. Neither had I. Uhum.
So let's quickly go through each of these again. I can't swim. Neither can I. I couldn't see him. Neither could I. She won't be there. Neither will I. I wouldn't eat that. Neither would I. I shouldn't worry. Neither should I. They haven't studied. Neither have I. He hadn't finished. Neither had I. Sometimes nor is used instead of neither. It has the same word order of nor plus auxiliary plus subject. For example, if someone says, I wasn't ready, you can respond with, nor was I, which means neither was I. Both forms are correct.
Okay, it's very common. People say, oh, no was I. I wasn't either. Neither was I.
Me?
Someone says, I didn't want to go. How could we respond this using nor instead of neither?
Se alguém falar para você, I didn't want to go, como que você vai falar, eu também não queria ir, usando nor?
Nor did I.
You can say, nor did I, which means neither did I.
Very good. So, lembra que é nor, auxiliar, sujeito. Ou neither, auxiliar, sujeito. Um dos dois.
Again, both forms are correct.
Okay, guys, so I'll send you the link of this video. Of course, I recommend you to see more than once, mais de uma vez, né? Many times. Mas acho que ficou bem legal, deu para entender bem como usar aí, bem simples. Bom, simples, simples. O que a gente precisa realmente é prática, né? Ali.
Yeah, I have an idea now of it, but I need more practice.
Of course.
And not to think too much.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay, let's go to chapter 10.
Chapter 10, almost finished.
Ooh, what do you think about this chapter? What's your opinion?
I have been listening, and most of the things I already knew.
Okay, very good.
It's very good.
Let's go.
That film stars will become successful politicians more often in future. Chapter 10. Living in the USA. Many people who have never been to the USA recognize it from films and TV programs. Then there is the work of the artist Edward Hopper, whose pictures of ordinary American people, streets, and houses in the city and in the country make us think of old films. But what is life in America really like? Most Americans who have jobs live more comfortably than people in almost any other country in the world. They usually work a 40-hour week, and they have 2 weeks holiday a year, as well as holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas. In 60% of families, the husband and the wife both work. Although more than 40% of the land is farmed, not many people work as farmers, and fewer Americans work in factories than in the past. Most jobs are now in places like hospitals, banks, hotels, and shops. If you do not have a job, and around 6% of Americans do not, life is hard. The government gives you a little money, but it is not enough to buy everything that you need. How many Americans are poor? Around 13% of all Americans are poor. But 25% of black people and 22% of Hispanic people are poor. The money in the USA is the dollar, which contains 100 cents. Some coins have special names. 5 cents is a nickel, 10 cents is a dime, and 25 cents is a quarter. In taxis, restaurants, and other places, people give a tip, extra money on top of the price. Without this extra money, many workers do not have enough money to live. Americans do not use kilograms and kilometers, but pounds and miles. Dates are also written differently from dates in Britain. The 4th of July is 7-4, not 4-7. Sadly, the world learned about how Americans say dates on the 11th of September 2001, the date that we remember as 9/11. Because the USA is such a big country, the time changes as you travel from one side to the other. When it is 12 midday in New York, Eastern Time, it is 11 a.m. in Kansas, Central Time, 10 a.m. in Arizona, Mountain Time, and 9 a.m. in Seattle, Pacific Time. And the time in Alaska is 8 a.m. and in Hawaii, 7 a.m. The pictures by the artist Norman Rockwell tell stories of the life of ordinary families from the 1920s to the 1970s. Although they are often too happy to be true, they give us an idea of life in small towns that has not all disappeared yet. 2/3 of Americans own their homes, often with a garden. At least 85% of families have a car, and more than 75% of Americans drive to work. They also use their car to go to drive-in restaurants, coffee shops, or even banks. Henry Ford, who made the famous Ford cars, was born in Michigan, near Detroit. His Model T, 1908, was the first car that was cheap enough for ordinary people. Anyone can drive a Ford, they said. And by 1918, half the cars in the USA were Model Ts. Now, more and more Americans drive very big cars called SUVs. The USA does not have a state religion, and no religion is allowed in schools. Instead, every morning American students make a promise to the American flag. But over 80% of Americans belong to a Christian church, and Christianity is very important, particularly in the south of the USA. In some states, books are not allowed in schools if they say something different from the Christian story of the beginning of the world. Some churches are just for black people, and black churchmen like Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson have worked very hard for the rights of black people. One large religious group is the Latter-day Saints, or Mormons, who live mainly in Utah. They have very strong ideas about how to dress and are against alcohol and tobacco. If they do not want to go out, Americans can stay at home and watch television. Nearly all families have a TV, and an ordinary family watches more than 7 hours a day. There are over 10,000 TV stations, and most of them belong to businesses, not to the government. American TV programs are sold all over the world. There are more than 1,500 daily newspapers, but most of them are just for one city. The most popular newspaper is USA Today, which sells 5 million copies a day. You can buy papers like the New York Times and the Washington Post everywhere, as well as the magazines Time and Newsweek. And, of course, Americans love to shop. The supermarket first appeared in America, and now many shops are open 24 hours a day. Some of the biggest shopping centers in the world are in the USA. Mall of America in Minneapolis has over 500 shops and covers 1.25 million square meters. You could put 32 Boeing 747 planes into it. Americans have to pay if they visit a doctor or go to hospital, but they do not usually pay to go to school. Schools, like the laws, are different from state to state, but in most places, everyone goes to school for about 12 years. The years are called grades. Grades 1 to 5 are elementary school, 6 to 8 are middle school, and 9 to 12, high school. About 85% of students finish high school and celebrate with a party known as a prom. They also make a yearbook. This has photos of all the students in their class and some information about each person. Films like American Graffiti and The Breakfast Club have shown what life is like at an American high school. About half the students who finish high school go on to study for another 2 or 4 years. Harvard and Yale in the East and Berkeley in California are among America's famous universities. Most Americans enjoy sports, and baseball, basketball, and football are popular. American football is a very different game from European football. Players carry the ball more than they use their feet. But the favorite sport in the USA is baseball. The film Field of Dreams tells the story of a farmer from Iowa in the Midwest, played by Kevin Costner, who dreams of the Chicago White Sox team and makes a baseball field for them in a field on his farm. Baseball is played by 2 teams of 9 people. Each player from the first team tries to hit the ball and run round a big square from corner to corner. The players from the second team try to catch the ball. Players try to get all the way round the square before the other team can get the ball to a corner. After 3 players go out, it is the turn of the second team to hit the ball. Some famous teams are the Los Angeles Dodgers, the New York Yankees, and the Boston Red Sox. Perhaps the greatest baseball player in history was Babe Ruth. He was born in 1895 and played with the Boston Red Sox and then the New York Yankees. He died in 1948, but he is still remembered today.
What are you guys thinking?
Good.
Good. But I only get in my mind and like the idea that Americans like football. But I know that their football aren't like ours football, I think.
Yeah. We see a lot of
Oh,
movies, né, that you guys can, as you can read this
teacher.
chapter, it rings a bell
Mhm.
of a lot of movies about high school, about,
Mhm.
football and so on.
Teacher.
Mhm.
I forgot the name of the sport that it's like American football. What's that?
Baseball?
No, it's other. Que se fundou numa escola em
It's
1800.
rugby.
Yeah, that.
Rugby, yeah, but rugby is mostly in London and the UK.
Okay, I see.
The British are really into rugby, while the Americans are really into baseball. But it's not similar, but it's a symbol, it gives you, it rings you the bell. It's like you can see some resemblance on the rugby in the American, how do you say, football? It's not a baseball.
Base.
Okay, guys, so let's start with Luis. You can read this here in English and Portuguese. Next one is Mari.
Okay. Many people who have never been to USA recognize it from films and TV programs. Then there is the work of the artist Edward Hopper, whose pictures of ordinary American people, streets and houses in the city and in the country make us think of old films. And what is life in America is really like. Oh, muitas pessoas que nunca estiveram nos Estados Unidos reconhecem o país por filmes e programas de TV. Então, aí que vem o trabalho do artista Edward Hopper. Que captura, que tira fotos de ordinárias pessoas na América. De
Ordinary
ordinárias coisas
people
na
quer dizer
América.
pessoas comuns, tá? If you say, I'm just an ordinary person, ordinary em português é estranho, né? Falar, I am an ordinary person. Eu sou uma pessoa comum, mas ninguém gosta, tá, de ser chamado de mesmo nos Estados Unidos, não que tenha conotação de ordinário nos Estados Unidos, mas ninguém quer ser comum, tá?
Entendi.
Okay, the ways I'm a wimpy kid.
What?
So I'm a wimpy kid.
Oh, yes.
So what I thought de ruas e casas na cidade e no país. O que faz nós nos lembrarmos de antigos filmes. Mas como realmente é a vida na América?
I really
When I
recommend you guys.
was
Next class we will continue reading, but I want you guys to see Edward Hopper's pictures, okay? So it's very nice. Let's go ahead there. Edward Hopper, because he's pretty famous in the USA. And sometimes people mention him in documentaries, movies.
I just don't like the idea that USA people say that people that are from other countries that come to USA são latinos e que só eles são originários da América.
Yeah, but don't have this kind of thoughts, okay? Because, for example, I lived in the USA. I had very good friends from the United States who were very nice people. So it depends on what you, for example, I don't like having these thoughts like, oh, all Americans like, don't like Hispanic people don't like this, don't like that. Don't bring this to your experience. You know what I mean?
I had this thought before, and when I started the class with you, you told me that, and I changed.
Yeah.
I met American people that is a good person.
Doendo.
People are just people, guys. Once you get to know, you see, like in Brazil, I have a lot of people from other countries in Brazil who feel also that they are not welcome, that people in Brazil don't like, foreigners. It depends, it's gonna be people are people. So we are just all the same. Some people like foreigners. My sister, for example, she doesn't like dating people from other countries. They prefer Brazilian people, to date. I like dating people from other countries. So people are just people.
I like to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are some pictures of Edward Hopper.
Edward Hopper.
He portrayed the daily life of people in the restaurants, in their houses, you see, at the porch, as you can see, at the fireplace. Just ordinary people, ordinary houses.
Mm-hmm.
And next class, I'll show you guys more about Edward Hopper because I think it's nice for you guys to also know about this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, friends. Any questions?
No
Not
question.
by now.
Thank you so much.
See you all guys next time. Bye bye.
This class was
Bye.
funny.